Hello and welcome to World Talks on TVP World. I'm Anna Kalczyńska. Now, a topic on sports. The resignation of Robert Lewandowski as captain of the Polish national football team was a major shock, not just for fans in Poland, but for the entire nation. It sparked intense discussions about authority, leadership, and the status of one of Poland's most talented football stars. To discuss the reason behind this decision, I'm joined now by Maciej Iwański, sport journalist, TVP. Good morning, Maciej. Thank you for joining us this morning here on TVP World.
Good morning, my pleasure.
So obviously this topic raises a lot of emotions. Lewandowski mentioned both physical and mental fatigue. Do you believe those were genuine reasons, or perhaps there was a way to mask deeper conflicts?
Well, first of all, the words that Robert Lewandowski said on TVP Sports Studio before the game against Moldova about his fatigue, also mental fatigue, were, I believe, very important, because we should discuss more in public about the mental fatigue and the mental tiredness that comes with the playing in football and also being a public figure on this level as Robert Lewandowski. He spoke about having this weight of 40 million people country on his shoulders, carrying it for last 10 or even more years. He's been the national team captain since December 2014. And actually, I think everybody could understand that. But what happened later on Sunday evening when Michał Probierz and Polish Football Association released the statement that Robert Lewandowski is off the captaincy after almost 4,000 days, it raised eyebrows of many. It didn't make quite sense at the beginning. Why do this 48 hours before the crucial game in qualifiers against Finland? But after what happened in next hours, we can understand that something happened between Robert Lewandowski and the team. Because Michał Probierz yesterday at the press conference held in Helsinki said in public that he spoke to many players, then he decided to confirm that this position of Robert Lewandowski will be changed inside of the national team. Of course, this is hugely linked to Lewandowski coming to Chorzów to greet Kamil Grosicki, the player that had his farewell game on Friday evening, despite earlier saying that he will not attend the national team training camp and the games friendly against Moldova and the crucial qualifier against Finland. So some of the players felt abandoned by the captain, which of course played a role in all of this situation. But I believe that from Robert Lewandowski, from Michał Probierz and the Football Association of Poland, there were many mistakes made in terms of communication of all this situation. The atmosphere now is extremely heavy. The new captain, Piotr Zieliński, is not even playing tonight because of the injury, which creates the atmosphere of chaos that can only help the rivals of Polish national team.
Exactly, but I suggest we take a listen from Michał Probierz trying to explain his decision.
I am fully aware that the decision I made regarding an exceptional player was a difficult one. However, the nature of football often requires us to take a broader view and prioritize what's best for the team as a whole. Now, in light of our current objectives and the direction we're taking, I firmly believe this was the right course of action. With regard to reconciliation, I remain open and approachable. I do not hold grudges. In life, as in football, there are moments of disagreement, but they pass. There's no place for resentment in this sport. I view the situation as part of the natural progression of events. In football, as we know, anything is possible.
Anything is possible. I don't rule out any room for reconciliation, says Michał Probierz. You spoke of the mistakes in communication. Do you believe it was something spontaneous that occurred between Probierz and Lewandowski, or the conflict has been deeper and has had some time?
I don't think that this conflict has been deeper for quite some time because both players and the coach, they agreed that he will not attend the national team football camp and he will not play in June games due to the need of the rest that he spoke openly about. He's 37 and he really needs more time and he knows his body very well. he's an extreme professionalist. So when he spoke that he needs this time to take rest and then be fully ready for the next FC Barcelona season and also the national team games that we will have later this year, I think everybody thought that this is the right explanation. But Lewandowski coming for the game on Friday, it was the turn that nobody expected. And I cannot really agree with Michał Probier's words saying that this is the natural turn of events. There is nothing natural in informing the player of such a caliber as Robert Lewandowski is by phone on Sunday evening, 48 hours before the crucial game, that he's off captaincy. Something must have happened inside of the team. And Probierz spoke about his discussions with the players, with the coaching staff. He decided that this shake can maybe help the team. Well, he and also Piotr Zieliński, they kept on repeating that it's all for the good of the national team. But please take a look, Anna, you and also the viewers, on the words of Ronald Koeman, who's the national team coach of Holland. And we play against the Dutch team later this year in the qualifiers. So he said, if you have the best player in the world, or one of the best players in the world, which Robert Lewandowski still is, you just cannot abandon this type of player. Lewandowski resigned because he felt offended. We know that it didn't look quite the way Lewandowski presented it. It was not only the one short phone call during the time that Lewandowski was with his family trying to put his children to sleep. It was the time of an hour before the first and second call between the coach and the national team captain. And Lewandowski later asked the coach to put the statement that he decided to resign from his position as the captain. As we know, coach refused, and the Polish Football Association made this famous statement that Robert Lewandowski will not be the captain anymore, which I think fueled the reaction of Lewandowski, because the tweet, or to be more precise, the statement by the player 38 minutes later was purely emotional. And this is not typical to Robert. He's an extreme professionalist. He's also a little bit introverted. He's not reacting emotionally often. So we were all surprised to see very strong statements saying that he lost his confidence in the coach and he will not play for the national team coach under Probierz. And it was Sunday evening, while on Friday at TVP Sport, Robert said that he is playing purely for the fans and also for his family. So something really has changed in the minds of both of the gentlemen within these hours, but it certainly doesn't help the national team. All the world is speaking about it. We are speaking about it at the moment. And everybody, I'm right now in Slovakia because Poland national team under 21 plays the first game at the European Championship tomorrow here in Žiline, where I am at the moment. And people were discussing this in the restaurant yesterday evening. And that's absolutely amazing that inside of the Polish national team, the crisis is so huge at the moment.
Yes, and is being debated internationally. Maciej, by the way, what has been the reaction both within the squad? I mean, what are the guys saying? Are there any comments coming from the national team? And also, how has the Polish public responded to both Lewandowski's announcement and his remarks about feeling betrayed? Who are they leaning towards?
The fans are divided, and of course, the people are not happy with the style of the national team. Yes, we are winning this year, but we're playing defensive football against not so strong rivals, with all due respect to Malta, Lithuania and Moldova so far. So we're not conceding, which is a surprise comparing to last year. We're not conceding goals, we're not scoring many. We won 3 games in a row, but the atmosphere is, I think, the worst since World Cup in Qatar, when we had some internal problems in the team. We're not actually having 100% credible news from inside of the team. All of the sources that we have, they say that most of the players, they were happy with the decision of the coach because they felt that they were abandoned by Robert. But also part of the team is contacting Robert Lewandowski and they're supporting him. So this is certainly nothing that can help in the preparations before the game in Helsinki. And what hurts when you take a look at this situation is that both Probierz and Lewandowski, they did not certainly have proper communication on this matter.
Definitely.
I think both of them reacted emotionally.
And very briefly, as we must finish this conversation, would you say this marks a beginning of a transformation within Polish football or not?
I think this is the beginning of an era post Robert Lewandowski, which we knew that will come at some point. He's 1988 born, but I think nobody expected to happen it this way.
Maciej Iwański, thank you so much for sharing your insights here with us on TVP World. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And thank you for watching this edition of World Talks here on TVP World. I'm Anna Kalczyńska. Thank you and goodbye.